Hello ladies and Germans, how you all doing? This is coming with another Company of Heroes 2 1v1. This one, up in north, playing the OKW forces, wearing the yellow trunks. Even though all of his stuff is blue, it is Jove. And down here in the south, playing purple, looking good in the color, is Code 2 is Terminal Cancer. And it seems Cancer over here can't even believe it. It is in fact the real Jove. I imagine that feeling will be replaced with some distress rather quickly. Taking a quick look at commanders, though, of course, CoH is bringing Armor Company, as well as Rifle Company, and a Tactical Support Company. So look to probably see, my guess is... No, I lied. I have no idea which one he's going to go for. Jove, for his own point, he's going to bring in Scavenge, with obviously the flat Panzer for Ostwind. Oh, good lord. Got Canner. Special Operations Doctrine and Elite Armor Doctrine. So, 3 doctrines that I love to roll with myself whenever I play OKW, if I'm not looking to kind of goof around with something a little bit different. We'll see a very kind of slightly varied build from Jove. Usually most people go for a Kubelwagen as the first build, go out and grab some territory really, really quickly. But Minsk Pocket is kind of constrained. It really cuts down on the maneuverability of Kubelwagen, so Jove instead is deciding to go for 2 Volks first, and then going for a Kubelwagen at the tertiary call-in. Cancer for his own matter. Maybe we should call him TC, Terminal. I don't know. United States player for his own fashion is going to go for a Trip Rifleman opening, not uncommon. In fact, it's kind of what we expect these days, especially against OKW. And very early on, he is asserting himself against the Sturmpires, who are going to retreat up. I thought they're going to go back up right by those other riflemen, but instead they're going to retreat off to the northwest, luckily getting themselves away. Jove, though, sacrificing a model or 2 for time, picking up a very early VP, and looking to extend his control over here to the west. My guess is probably go munitions point, and then maybe start coming back to cover some of these other areas. Or no, is he sliding over here to take it back the fuel point? I have no idea. No, he's just going to start tossing down some cover to really set himself up for later engagements. Very, very interesting play. You don't see that very often. He knows right now he's not going to be able to stand up too easily to the American rifles, and he wants to give his troops a lot of cover over here behind. A little harder for the Americans to take advantage of it, so it's very much unidirectional cover, despite it being player-made. Americans, in the meantime, will take a munitions point over here, as well as the strategic point. Neither player really looking to take their expansion VP in the corner. A little bit curious on that one. Not that's really that uncommon, but just it's a little different. Cancer, in the meantime, is going to go and bring in a 4th rifleman, not looking instead to quickly transition into the captain. Of course, the captain's still another couple fuel away, so that could be a very, very good reason behind that. But an early captain is pretty much what we expect out of this particular build order. In fact, actually, no, we'd even expect to see a mortar, though, too, wouldn't we? A little uncommon to see a lot of riflemen, but not a mortar. I guess on this map, it is a little harder to use the mortar as efficiently, although all the various fire lanes do allow much more effective barrages. When the mortar hits, it's going to do a ton of damage. And already we're seeing the actual payoff from those sandbags. Yes, the Americans do get behind them, but they drop 3 models even getting up to it. Drop a 4th one before even dropping one of the Germans. And although now the Volkskrans are getting pushed back, they have traded out fairly effectively, taking, what, 6 models? 6 models for 3. So a 2-to-1, especially considering that the riflemen really aren't that cheap. And you're in good shape here. The 500 to 466 is going to be a switch off in terms of ticket drain. The Americans taking a slight lead with theirs. They are behind with 35 tickets though already, so it is really only them trying to stay competitive. Meanwhile, Cancer is complaining about it being laggy, and frankly, if anybody should get hit with lag, I think it should be Cancer. But 5 minutes in, 494, 466. And the Germans are diving deep, looking to decap this fuel point, looking to take out the strategic point, in the, VP, in the middle of the map. And a captain is now on the field. So are we going to see a transition into that Stewart that we see so often from the U.S. players? My guess is yes. Jove has not invested at all into any kind of Raketin play. He has put his battlegroup headquarters in an extremely advanced position, looking to secure this fuel point. My guess is we'll probably see a fairly quick upgrade to being a forward retreat post. And on a map that's much thinner and slightly longer than the constituent maps, it's a good idea to do so. You do gain another 15-20 seconds whenever you're forced to retreat. In the meantime, those Sturm piles might get dropped. Never mind, they're going to make it away. Yes, they do. They have decapped that fuel point, though, and although Jove would have ideally preferred to take the point for himself, he's not going to complain too much about that either. Schoolwagon, though, is probably going to buy it. Zook comes out from the captain, hammers into the Jeep, and somehow the Jeep still continues to continue driving. Volksgrens are holding strong though around the point, sitting back here, bunch of a couple of squads in the center part of the map. MG34 being called in, so are the medics are being a quick tech up from Jove. A good decision there. He has not upgraded his battlegroup headquarters to forward retreating post just yet, and it's not too hard to understand why. 300 manpower is a very, very hefty investment. What is a little easier for him, though, is to kind of continue being very, very annoying to these American squads as they shift around the map. The American himself has not even decided to go for an ambo at all, so his troops are going to start losing more and more efficiency as the game moves forward. Actually, this is a mechanics question. I don't exactly know the answer to this, so if anybody does, please let me know. Do troops get a combat boost to their stats from fighting on different elevations? Is it actually better to have height making right an engagement between two groups? I don't know that one. I don't know the answer to that. So if anybody out there could riddle me that, I would appreciate it a great deal. Meantime, Joe says, okay, oh, you're taking my munitions? Oh, that's cute, bro. I'm going to take the strategic point and make that completely worthless. You have fun. And frankly, if he can take this point here as well as this point over here, this is a harder one to get, though. The American resources could be pretty much dropped to zero. And there is that Stuart, but there's a Raketin coming out from Jove. So the trade-off is going to happen here, and down here in the south you see the Volksgrens run right smack dab into the captain. He'll be nice and aggressive on them. Definitely a good idea. If they were full strength, then they didn't have a bazooka instead of actual rifles. And you see right now that instead the Volksgrens are going to start pushing back these riflemen, pushing back the captain. And the Stuart, although it will see the Germans very quickly off the field, a Panzerfaust will frustrate the chase that would otherwise see that entire squad getting picked up. Forgetfurt, in the meantime, taking its merry old time getting down to the actual battlefield. Notice as well that poor Kovagen has gotten hammered. Lost a lot of health. He's got a damaged engine as well. And there's that retreat point being unlocked. A good idea there, like I said. And watch how much quicker Joe's troops get back into the fight. You will see that paying dividends as the game itself does move forward. Americans, though, now are playing exactly into the meta. They have gotten their Stuart, they've got their mortar, they've got quad riflemen as opposed to trip, and that might be a little bit of an issue, and it lends itself to being a lot of different micro. NG-34 is going to take a couple of hits from the Stuart, but that's just to make sure that Raketin gets itself into position, so he's going to get another round off, I'm sure. Yikes. You know what? I hate being wrong sometimes. The Stuart's going to charge right back in, and will he get picked up? I don't know. It's going to be close. Whew. Stuart's going to back away very intelligently now. He has gotten hit pretty hard, and really all he needs to be taking is one more shot, and he will go down. The Raketenwerfer, I'm sure somebody out there, Williams, might be able to tell me what kind of shell that thing fired. All I know is that in-game it hurts a lot. And I can't help but wonder if that was kind of the inspiration behind something like the Panzerfaust, the whole the shape charged idea, because I know the Raketenwerfer itself was considered to be a shaped charge anti-tank weapon. Down here in the south, we're going to see maybe the first blood going over to terminal cancer. No. Instead, he is going to just see this single man off the map. In the middle part of the field, though, you do see the Germans are practically on top of their base sector now. Yes, the Americans will take these points, but the second the Americans get forced back, whoo, doggies, it's going to be a hot time in the mince pocket tonight. Unfortunately for the Germans, that's a very, very bitter pill to swallow at the moment. You do see they're losing territory on all fronts. 490 to 395, though, they have 100 tickets to spare. They don't really care too much if they lose a little bit of resource generation now. As it is, Jove really could call in his Schwerpanzer headquarters and plop that down like right about here. Really lock down this southern, although it seems kind of southern, but the middle VP. And with a couple of indirect fire weapons, it wouldn't matter if the Americans pull up at the 57mm, for example, that they currently have, or try to use this Stuart as a means to destroy said Schwerpanzer headquarters, because they'd be right back on top of it for one, and that 3-centimeter anti-aircraft gun is a brutal, brutal thing to fight.
The capture point is under attack. Taking fire.
I do hope you guys will forgive me, though. We do see that Cancer has gotten himself some weapon rack unlocks, but for some reason has not deigned to really allow the rest of his troops to utilize those weapons effectively. Might even see the mortar team get picked on now. It would be better if that rifle squad got picked up, but pushing back the mortar would be almost just as good. In the south, it seems the Raketenwerfer and this Volksgren squad is going to charge forwards. Unfortunately for Jove, he could probably be picking this guy up if this Raketenwerfer were not made to camouflage as it shifts. But no, here comes another Panzerfaust. Kaboom. Really hammers into it, and now, for some reason, oh my gosh, will he get away? Will he limp away? Oh, say it ain't so. Never mind, that Stuart's gonna make it out of there, just barely alive. In the north, you can see the Kubelwagen probably get picked off. Yep, there you go, the riflemen, they take it out. And this MG-34 has now been flanked. So Jove is being made to look a little bit silly at the moment. Not too silly, mind you, but silly enough. And there is that Schwerpanzer headquarters truck being called in. The Schwer Wehrmachtschlepper truck, the second one of the map, is being called in. He's got more than enough resources to already put that puppy down. MG-34 is setting up over here, trying to get a field of fire, for some reason aiming the wrong direction. And now his Sturm pilots are fighting, going to be completely outflanked if these riflemen get anywhere close to him. See that the 57mm in the meantime is lining up, trying to anticipate, I would say, where the next headquarters building will go. MG-34 is going to suppress both of these squads, PDQ, and realizing that, they kind of back out of there before that can happen. Not dropping too whole lot, though. They drop a model, so, you know, not the most terrible of happenstances here. The MG-34, the northeast over here for the Germans, are going to back off, going to get wrecked otherwise. And very bravely, these Volksgrens are pushing forwards, especially knowing that there's going to be that Stuart right there. Is he in range, though, of the Raketenwerfer? Well, the Raketenwerfer is pointed the wrong way, and unfortunately, secondly, he's not even emplaced. So Jove, despite having a very, very good early game, is starting to fall off here in the mid. Schwerpanzer headquarters is going down. Doesn't look like it's going to take too much firepower, but it could, just maybe, lock down the western side of this map. If nothing else, handling the approaches. Oh, never mind. It's going to be too high up there. If anybody get like an observation post up there, that'd be a good idea, but it's not going to be the case. We will see Armor Company coming out for Cancer. He's going to have the opportunity to get those M10 tank destroyers, the assault engineers, and all that kind of good stuff like that. And against the current play that's been going on, I guess it works. Again, not my first choice, but, you know, I guess it works. But Raketenwerfer announces its presence, throwing that Stuart back yet again. And, again, that thing is just kind of glorious. Surprisingly good. And the American mortar just continues to plop down rounds somewhere around the middle part of the map. Sturmpires start to find themselves getting outnumbered quite severely. There's like a 3-to-1, almost 4-to-1 advantage for the attacking Americans. And indeed, we even see the Americans just playing a blob assault with a captain running point and 2 BAR riflemen behind that. That's going to be a really, really hard thing for the Germans to stop right now. Volkskrans are sliding around the side, though, and that might be enough. Unfortunately for the Germans, that Schwerpanzer headquarters cannot see. There we go. A couple of rounds coming in, not doing a whole lot. Oh, just managed to impact against that captain's squad. In the north, we are going to see this MT-34 getting pushed back yet again. The Stuart just being way too mobile on this map. And really being a pain in the posterior. 15 minutes gone, and the Wehrmacht, not the Wehrmacht, the Ostheer, or the OKW rather, because it's not Ostheer at all now, is it? The OKW is actually seeing itself fall behind a little bit in the tickets, and when Jove is playing and is falling behind this early as the Germans, you can't help but wonder what is going on. And then you see stuff like this happen, where riflemen get suppressed. Ooh! Ooh, Sturmpio is getting a really, really bad wipe there. One grenade coming through and walloping him back almost into the Stone Age. M10 is on the field as well. Not sure why that's necessarily there. I guess maybe Cantor's worried that Jove is going to have himself a heavy tank here and now. ISG's been put on the map. You see it's going to start lofting rounds downrange. It's not going to be too easy. I mean, Jove is at a massive army deficit right now, and doesn't exactly have the means to take back a good portion of this map. Stuart's going to slide again to the north. This MT-34 is going to push back again. It's not going to matter who they is, what they're doing, where they're going, who their mama is. No, instead it's just going to be the Germans getting pushed back all day, every day. Stuart even be more kind of gutsy, trying to run around, trying to anticipate a retreat path, but he doesn't really realize that that battle group headquarters is that far forwards. Americans in the meantime are sliding up here, trying to get around in front of these Volkskrans who are just trying to do the whole civil construction thing and back away before anything else can kind of go down. And what is the play for Jove? What does he do to get back in this? He's got more than enough fuel. He wants to go for a call-in, but the question is what kind of call-in? As of right now, things are not too easy for him. Schwerpanzer headquarters is right here. M10 just is going to start to really put a hurting on it. But so is that 3-centimeter anti-aircraft gun. That thing is churning out damage. And very, very soon, that M10 is going to really want to get out of there. There he goes. He starts to book it out now. And it gets out of control instead. 60 munitions traded to take that puppy out. He is gone. He is cooked. 70, excuse me. 70 munitions dropping out to take him out of the play. That guy is gone. He is out, and Jove is now back in this. That Stuart's good, but having a Raketten and the Panzerfaust will keep that Stuart rather terrified, I imagine. Mortar and the ISG can trade rounds all day, and here comes another... Oh, it's the 105 Sherman howitzer. That might be a little more interesting to fight. And it does seem that the machine gun has finally been taken out. Yep, there it is. It's up there to the north. Not going to stop the Germans, though, from being more aggressive. They are trying to push back these BAR riflemen and succeed in doing so. Shockingly enough. And 5-star Volkskrans against 2-star riflemen. It's going to be a lot closer than you might think it's for those riflemen. The riflemen really should start backing it up. Never mind, there's a Stuart. He's going to push away those Volkskrans super, super quick. And Jove is starting to come up against it here. The howitzer on that Sherman is no mean feat. The question really is, can this... I was going to say, can that Rakettenwerfer last just long enough to take out the Sherman? But the answer to that, unfortunately, is no. Jove is falling back on all fronts. He's going for the Special Operations Commander, and I'm not entirely sure why at this point. I guess he's just backing up all his troops just to kind of hunker down? I could not say for sure. But shockingly, Cancer has really pulled the rug out from underneath our noted OKW player over here. Where the round's coming from? Okay, there we go. I thought we were seeing the 3-centimeter gun actually firing or something, but that's not going to be the case. Instead, we're just going to see the battle group headquarters go down. Jove kind of weeping as his base falls to pieces over here.
A mobile command vehicle has been dispatched.
Really kind of hard to watch, and I'm imagining the Raketenwerfer has just been picked up. Yep, the Americans have the Raketenwerfer. On the plus side, it does look like there's a Panther tank coming out for Jove, but will that be enough to really shift things back into his favor? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, the AT guns, the bazooka, the rifle grenades, like, this might be Jove's last real attempt for quite some time in this game to really get back into it here. Especially with the anti-tank front coming out here. Good gosh. Shoe mines are getting in place. Over here to the northwest, though, not really doing a whole lot for the immediate American advance. And right now, the mortar is doing exactly what it needs to do. Just rain, kind of distracting, very frustrating fire, and give time for the tanks to do their duty, which is repair, get back up and running, and kind of just really be pushing forward again. But that Panther is on the field now, and if Jove can manage to hang out long enough, we will see some real domination because of it. Unfortunately for him, his really big, massive concern is he's got to take out this Sherman howitzer super quick, and this 57 mil pretty quickly right after that, if not before. Panther comes forward though, starts to throw rounds into it. Rear armor hits. Question is though, I think that 57 mil is going to have more than enough firepower to take out that headquarters. And also the captured machine guns as well are really, really hammering into the Germans. And Jove getting pushed away, having a really, really terrible game. Unfortunately, RNG against him on multiple fronts here. Heck, even not losing that Sturmpire squad a little while ago would have been very helpful. And now Cancer's just infiltrating with his captain over here to the western side. His rear echelon's just kind of trooping around. And the captain dropped half of his squad to that shoe mine. So, you know, one tiny bright moment for Jove on that one. But it does not look good. 274 to 370. 23 minutes into this game, and Jove is just kind of really up against the wall. Now with an M10 on the field, I don't know if Jove can really effectively move his Panther back into engage the American troops on the line right now. Under a trip cap, Obosoldaten have now been completed. These guys are good, but they're not that good. Probably a very, very quick LMG upgrade for them. No STGs, excuse me. Oh yes, of course, because of the special operations to get that sweet mother of pearl. M10 is shifting forward, as is that Stuart, trying to take out that Shred Panther headquarters for good. And although their cannons are comparatively light, yep, they take out that building, and all that is left is this Panther and Tier 1 infantry. It is going to be hard cheese to swallow. I'm trying to follow this tank again for just a second here. No, he says screw that. He's going to, oh, never mind. Here comes all the American material. For some reason, the Sherman howitzer decides to come in first and then shows its heels to a vehicle that would eat it for breakfast if there's any kind of straight-up fight. M10 sliding forward as well, so that M10 is not going to enjoy that fight if he gets that much closer to the opposing force here. Sherman on retreat, trying to take out all these other American troops here. ISG probably going to get picked off by the BARs. STGs are not going to be enough to fight these guys off, let me tell you. Grenade coming out, Jove making it away just barely in time. But the entire map is bleeding I would say red, white, and blue, but it's not really the case now, is it? It's bleeding red, but it's definitely also bleeding purple. Looking quite fashionable. I don't know if this is the end for our noble Jove. I don't know, but another ISG comes out, not doing a whole lot. I got 2 stars, and a couple of Volksgrens are really high vet. But it's just, there's so much material on the map for the Americans, and it's getting so much veterancy just being able to push them back again and again. Yikes. We have seen, by the way, just going out, the, what is it called? The 240 howitzers, yeah. So the 240 howitzers are going out, not doing a whole lot, just really just area denial. And in the wake of it, I'm trying to really figure out what can be done from Jove's perspective. He's got just almost next to no resources. Very little in the way of AT threats. He's got Raketen and Panzerfaust, and that's it. Yeah, I don't know what he can do to this. One last glorious charge for fatherland and country. Oh my gosh, the sound that thing makes, just, it sounds like ripping paper. It just shatters the firmament from the heavens. 177 to 370. Jove getting trounced by terminal cancer over here. And that's just a bad sentence you never really want to see or hear. The brave Volksgrens trying to hold up the advance and getting pushed aside. The Raketen over here in the meantime trying to get shots on anything that he can get. It's not going to be the case. Instead it's going to be this zooked up, barred up, liquored up captain pushing away the Raketen. And it's almost enough to make your Deutsche Files weep, isn't it? Like, for my part, I can never seem to really effectively use the 105 Sherman, especially not against something like a Panther, but somehow Cancer has found a way. It has found the cure. It is Cancer's cure. It is kind of scary. ISG backing away, barely a sliver of health. The Germans giving ground begrudgingly. A little bit of an FU cap over here to the east. These Volksgrens sliding super deep. And that's Jove's tapping out. Kind of hard to blame him. He was just getting trounced in every direction. Well done, Cancer. I can't believe I just said that, though. And Jove, I'm sorry, my friend. I thought you had it from early on with some of that play. Kind of getting messed over by some of the RNG on that. Nevertheless, good game to both guys. Well played to Terminal Cancer. Bravo. And guys, that will be it for me. If you like what you see, please comment, like, and subscribe below. If you have a game you want me to check out, please let me know. And I will see you guys all next time. This is Connorworks signing off. Take it easy.